Hello again, this is PJ, and I'm just moving on to kind of part two of my Iron Maiden vinyl collection. And in this part, I'm going to be going through my oh shit, it's heavy. My first 10 years. Uh, so this was released in 1990, and it was to celebrate the first 10 years of Iron Maiden, obviously, hence the name. So it came in a really cool box. Mine's a bit deteriorated at this point. So, and what it was is that each week you got a new one. Let's see if I can find actually here the dates. So beginning on the 24th of February 1990, they started releasing these. And each one came with a voucher, and you sent off, like once you had all 10 vouchers, you sent it off, and they sent you out the box. And the box is actually really cool. I really like the design on the front. And the design of the box itself, so just get it back here. Lift it up. So, what I really like about the design of the box is this flap here, and it folds down. So it allows you quick access to all the records inside, and allows you to easily pull them out. So to look through the names and pull them out. So what we have here first is obviously Iron Maiden's first record, first ever release, the Running Free single, which came out originally, I think it was late 1979. Don't quote me on that. And that's the follow-up one, Sanctuary. So we look on the inside, see there, B-side Burning Ambition, which was one of Steve Harris's very first songs, and then Sanctuary with Drifter and I've Got the Fire. B-sides for live B-sides. So, yeah, they're really cool. You see a band picture there, you got the whole band. Murray and Harris are the only surviving ones from that picture, as Paul Di'Anno, Clive Burr and Dennis Stratton all left the band almost in order. Stratton went first after the first record, Di'Anno went after the second record, and Burr went after the third record. So there you go. And each of these has Listen with Nico, where it's a little thing that Nico just babbles on, gives some history of the band, and so you can see it has that little first 10 years logo in the corner and a little sticker on it then that just says what's on it, and then blah blah blah. So these are all 12-inch records. So I'll just pull one out here. Whoa. Ooh, nearly tore that. So just look at this. Let's see. They've all got pretty much the exact same design in there, and I can't tell what. There we go. Okay. So you can see there, that's Burning Ambition, the B side, and Running Free, the first side. So they're really, really good quality, and as you see, the records themselves are mint. They've literally been played like 3, maybe 4 times since they were released. So this first set came out on the 24th of February 1990. This is all coming nearly 26 years ago. So that was number 1. And then I got Women in Uniform and Purgatory. Or sorry, I keep calling that one Purgatory. It's Twilight Zone and Rothschild. Double A side, and here you got Women in Uniform, Invasion, and Phantom of the Opera Live. Now, the Women in Uniform single, it was Iron Maiden's first music video, and that recording sort of directly led to Dennis Stratton being ejected from the band, because he went into the studio with, I think it was Will Malone, recorded that. See, the record company wanted a slightly more I know it was a guy called Tony Platt. he wanted a slightly more commercial sounding record, and Steve Harris didn't want to. He didn't really want to do Women in Uniform in the first place. And so, unbeknownst to Harris and the rest of the band, Dennis Stratton went into the studio with, what was his name? Tony Platt, and remixed the Women in Uniform song to make it more radio friendly and commercial sounding, which Steve Harris went ballistic over. And then that just led to the conversation where, what do you, Harris basically was to Stratton's like, what exactly do you want from this band? And their goals musically differed there. So Stratton was just asked to leave the band, and he was replaced with Adrian Smith. So, yeah, it's Women in Uniform and Twilight Zone. And on to the third one. So you got the Purgatory single and the Maiden Japan EP, 4-track EP. On the inside here, see Purgatory with the B-side Genghis Khan. Nothing particularly spectacular about that. And then Made in England, you can see there, Running Free, Remember Tomorrow, Killers and Innocent Exile. And this was Di'Anno's last release with Iron Maiden, this EP, Made in Japan. There we go. As he left the band shortly after. So with him out, it paved the way for new singer, Bruce Dickinson. And Bruce Dickinson came in on Run to the Hills from the Number of the Beast album, and the single as well, The Number of the Beast. So here we have one of the very first photo shoot with the band with Bruce Dickinson on the Run to the Hills single. And the B-side to that is Total Eclipse, which is seriously an incredibly underrated Iron Maiden song. It's absolutely brilliant. And there on, you can see, it has tour dates there for 82. And you see there on Number of the Beast, the B-side was Remember Tomorrow, and that was to give the fans, I guess, a sample of Bruce Dickinson singing a Paul Di'Anno song, because they wouldn't have heard that at this point. So that was recorded in Italy in, I think it was the first or second ever concert with Bruce Dickinson. They took him out to Italy to get him used to playing with the band live before they came back to England to, like, kind of display Bruce Dickinson for UK fans and be like, this is the new guy. So, classic album, resounding success, and very, very fortunate for Iron Maiden that they did release like one of their best albums just when they changed singers, because if they had released a substandard album immediately after losing Paul Di'Anno, then I don't think they would have fared as well. But it was the fact that they had just a collection of fantastic songs. The only other band I know of that ever did that was AC/DC with Back in Black. After Bon Scott's death, they brought out the Back in Black album with the new singer, and it was just instant, like, classic album as well. So that's the singles from The Number of the Beast. They were released in what was that? March. Yeah, it was March of 1990, first week of March. And then we're on to the Peace of Mind singles, and we have here The Flight of Icarus and The Trooper. And all these artworks actually by Derek Riggs. So again, we have a new addition to the band. We lose Clive Burr and we gain Nico McBrain. You can see there the B-side for Flight of Icarus is I've Got the Fire, which is a redoing of their previous B-side with Paul Di'Anno off of one of the earlier records where they did I Got the Fire, of the, I think it was Sanctuary. And then The Trooper, which was released, and Cross-Eyed Mary. And funnily enough for the band, Cross-Eyed Mary actually became quite a little hit for them. And it was like the, people were asking Iron Maiden to like start playing this song all the time, and they were like, no. It's like, it's not our song. But in America in particular, it got a lot of radio play. Cross-Eyed Mary, which is unusual for a B-side to gain that kind of popularity. But again, that's just one of the iconic Maiden images of Eddie, the trooper, which is that song's about the Crimean War. And then we're on to the Power Slave singles. And here we have 2 Minutes to Midnight, which is another absolutely fantastic Derek Riggs painting, and then another classic as well, Aces High. And then again on the inside, and there we go, 2 Minutes to Midnight, and then Rainbow's Gold and Mission from Ari. The Mission from Ari, look it up on YouTube, because if you haven't heard it, it's an incredibly funny argument between Steve Harris and Nico McBrain that Bruce Dickinson recorded. And I won't go into detail about it. Just look it up, listen to it on YouTube, and then there's another video where they actually talk about it. Nico McBrain and Steve Harris talk about it. So yeah, I'd look those up. It's very, very funny. And then for the Aces High, you got King of Twilight and the Number of the Beast live version, which is really cool. So then we go into the singles from Power Slave, and there's something about this record that nobody else I've ever seen comment on. I've never seen anybody comment on it, in the fact that these covers are printed wrong. That's the Running Free cover, and that's the Run to the Hills cover. But inside this is Running Free, and inside this is Run to the Hills. So they're printed the wrong way around. And you can see it plainly by the fact that you see Running Free, and there's the back of Running Free. And then this is Run to the Hills, and there's the back of Run to the Hills on the Running Free side. So you see, so this should be the side that's actually facing you when you go down through them, but instead it's this one. So they were printed the wrong way around, and I've never seen anybody comment on that. Like if you just Google, see here, like there's Running Free there, and then that's the Run to the Hills cover. If you just look on eBay or anything, or look up the singles online, you'll see that the 2 live shots should be the cover, and the painting by Derek Riggs then for Run to the Hills should be on the other side. And so yeah, that's a misprint in them that I've never seen commented online, that they were printed the wrong way around, but there you go. Okay, and on to now, we have Wasted Years. So it's really, really cool album cover right there. And on the back, we have Stranger in a Strange Land, which my brother actually has as a flag. He used to hang in the bedroom back in the 80s when we were kids, and he has it now hanging in his bathroom in his house. So on the inside then, just nothing really spectacular or anything. Like, you got Reach Out there and Sheriff of Huddersfield, which is a song the band wrote about Rod Smallwood, and That Girl and Juanita, just B-sides, covers. So yeah, that's the Summer in Time singles, and then we're on to the Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. And the first one we have here is Can I Play With Madness, which is one of my favourite illustrations, depictions of Eddie, because it is the most fucked up thing to look at. You know, you got like the fist coming out holding his brain, you got the corkscrew over here, you got screws shooting into his face, like the top of his head has been cracked open like an egg. There's yellow liquid being eaten out of it with a spoon, and it's just an insane looking picture. My brother had this as a poster as well, above the wardrobe in the house. I assumed it was up there so our mother wouldn't see it, I guess, you know, because it's an insane looking picture. And then on the back is The Evil That Men Do, which is I never really thought that was as good an illustration. I'm kind of like, how are you going to top that though for craziness? Yeah. So then to the final one, which was released in, I think it was towards the tail end of April of 1990. And we have the Clairvoyant. And a year later, they released Infinite Dreams to promote the Made in England VHS that was coming out. And then the inside, we got a live shot there. The Clairvoyant with The Prisoner and Heaven Can Wait as B-sides, and that's from Donington in '88, where Maiden headlined. And then over here we have misprint, where it says Infinite Dreams, Killers and Still Life, and Wasted Years. Wasted Years isn't on that record. It's misprinted, and you can see it's correctly printed up here. So you see Infinite Dreams, Killers, Still Life, and Listen When Nico Part 10. So yeah, that's basically the Clairvoyant and Infinite Dreams. The thing I say about that is that that always bugged me, Infinite Dreams. That's just the cover of the VHS. But all the other three, like this one and the other two, they're blue in colour, you know, to kind of match the Seventh Son album, and then you just get this black one, and it's like, eh. But yeah, that's really cool. So that's those in terms of singles, and I can find a sec. Other singles that I own just from here is there's an original Clairvoyant and an original Evil That Men Do. They're the original 88 45s. Like the first 10 years are all 33 speed, but these are 45s. And they're really pretty cool. I got them as part of a collection. I didn't specifically hunt these down because I already had the 10 years, so I bought a collection of other vinyls, and these two were in it. So now we get down here. I'll try and go through these in order of release. So just here now, I've got, here's Holy Smoke. Oh, I put the wrong one down. Holy Smoke, that comes with a poster inside. So On Your Mind and Kill Me Ce Soir are the B-sides, and that song Kill Me Ce Soir, I love that song, it's really cool. I love Main's version of it. So here we got a massive poster. I'm not going to pull it out, it's just the Holy Smoke cover as a poster. So put that back in. And then here we have Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter with I'm a Mover and Communication Breakdown as the B-sides. So they're the two No Prayer for the Dying singles. And they're two pretty good songs off what I consider a substandard album. So just over here as well. I probably should have grabbed these things before I started the video. But I have some of the 2014, 2013 re-releases on 7-inch. I just picked these up. I don't even know why. I didn't collect them all. I just grabbed a few of them. So it's just Running Free, Women in Uniform, Sanctuary, Purgatory. No, Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone and Ratchet. Why do I keep calling that Purgatory? And Run to the Hills. So they're little 7-inches. And here as well I've got Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter 7-inch. You see it there. It's like it's an etched version, and it was bought in Woolworths for $1.99. And in here it's got, see there, it's got Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter and I'm a Mover. Communication Breakdown's only on the 12-inch, but on the back side of this it's etched, and it's got signed messages from the band for Christmas because it was released in Christmas. So we got here, I'll just read them out to you. It's like, have a great ode, happy new what's it, ta Nico. Happy now beer from Dave Murray. Best wishes from Yannick Ayres. Remember, light a nice log for Santa. Happy everything, Bruce Dickinson. And Merry Xmas and Happy New Year, Steve Harris. So there's little messages from the band for Christmas. And interestingly, this was Iron Maiden's one and only ever #1 single. So that's No Prayer for the Dying. So then we move on to Fear of the Dark, and I don't have all of the singles off of it. But here you see we have Be Quick or Be Dead. And this is a Derek Riggs illustration. As opposed to the Melvin Grant album cover that was done, it was Derek Riggs that did the single. And now if we just pull it out here, see, it opens up in a gatefold. There's a picture of the band, the lyrics, and on the back it's B-sides, Nodding Donkey Blues and Space Station #5. And there's a hidden track as well on side A of this. It's kind of a follow-on from the Sheriff of Huddersfield. It's about Rod again, Rod Smallwood, their manager. It's not listed on the record, but once Be Quick or Be Dead plays, it comes on, and it's just Dickinson singing over an acoustic guitar. It's something kind of a country thing, and it's not great. It's kind of forgettable. So that's that. And then we have here From Here to Eternity, which I think is an absolutely amazing song. And it's got Roll Over Vic Villa, which is a song they wrote about one of their old roadie guys, and then a live version of No Prayer for the Dying, which actually is really cool. It was recorded at Wembley. It doesn't have Derek Riggs' illustration, it's rather just a photograph, kind of like a shot that looks like it was taken from the video that they shot for it. But the cover as well, it's a poster bag, so the vinyl is inside this. If you pull the whole thing out, what is the cover like folds out into a poster, and it's pretty cool. So I'm trying to think now, what are my other Maiden records? Oh, I have this single as well. The Reincarnation of Benjamin Brieg. So it's a 10-inch record from the Matter of Life and Death record. Just open it up. It's kind of cool vinyl. It's clear vinyl. So it's pretty cool. The B-sides are The Trooper and Run to the Hills, recorded for the BBC, and it comes with a sticker thing of the Eddie from the cover, or just the logo they were kind of using a lot at that time. So that's it. That's pretty much all my singles, or at least all I have so far. So this song is, it's like 23 minutes. It's gone on long enough. So I'm going to end this now, and might make a part 3, just an odds and sods of other records that I've got for Maiden. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in maybe the third part if there is one. Bye.